Kimi has just open sourced a new coding model which is K2.7 code, and it is already competing with the latest coding models from Claude and ChatGPT. In this video, I'm going to do a complete breakdown of this new model and show you how exactly it fares with the latest Claude Fable 5 models. So this new K2.7 model is absolutely massive on paper, as it packs total 1 trillion parameters. But relax, you don't need a massive graphic card server farm to run it because of how exactly it is built. Instead of using all these 1 trillion parameters at once, it only activates 32 billion parameters when it is generating a response. This keeps it fast and light enough for practical use. It does this by using a mixture of experts architecture, where you can think of it like working in a huge company, where instead of everyone working on one single task, only the 8 most qualified experts are called in for that specific job. In total, this model has 384 of such experts in its architecture, and by only picking the best ones for your specific prompt, it saves massive amount of memory and computing power. What makes this model special compared to the earlier K2.6 model is that it stops overthinking. It actually uses 30% less reasoning tokens compared to the earlier version, so when trying to reason through your logic, it saves both the token use and the API costs. If you look at their testing charts where they have compared this 2.7 model against the 2.6 model, the new model is sitting much closer to the left side of the graph, which means it reaches the higher level of performance by using less number of tokens compared to the 2.6 version. The benchmark results are also interesting because they have compared it against some heavy hitters like GPT 5.5 and Opus 4.8. In the MLS bench light test, it has jumped to 35% compared to just 26% in the earlier version, which means it is better at actual software engineering workflows now. In the same benchmark, it is performing at par with GPT and performing slightly lesser than the Opus 4.8 model, and in other benchmarks also it is almost performing same as these two giant closed source models, but we have to remember that this K2.7 model is completely open source, which you can download on your own system, while these GPT and Cloud models are closed behind secret doors, so you don't have access to their open weights, and you have to every time pay for their API fees for using those models. And when you are building large AI apps, which you generally do with these GPT and Cloud models, this K2.7 model has 256k token length in its context window, which means you can easily dump a medium-sized code base directly into the prompt. And capability-wise, it has long thinking capabilities as well, which means you can do multi-step tool calling, reasoning, and it is also excellent at solving complex problems. But one downside is that it does not support non-thinking mode, so in case if you want some application where you want fast latency, just to get faster responses at a cost of slight accuracy drops, this model does not have that non-thinking mode, which means it is forced to plan out the complete logic step by step before generating any kind of response. It also forces a preserved thinking mode, which means if you have a multi-turn interaction where you are chatting with the model back and forth, it will remember all of its internal thought from previous messages and not just the final answers that it has given. This feature is also enabled by default and cannot be disabled, so while this will help you to enhance the performance in the coding agent scenarios, this may lead to higher token usage in the context window and in turn heavy API costs as well if you are using it in the API mode. And if you are building a multi-step agent with this API tool, you must keep the reasoning content parameter as true just to pass the internal thinking mode and all the tool calls again into the context. If you forget to include this reasoning content in your coding loop, the model will instantly throw an error and crash. So it is acting quite like a strict teacher with no flexibility at all. And if you want to know the brutality of this strictness, if you look at the temperature parameter, which generally controls how much creativity a model can go for, but this temperature parameter is also locked at a fixed value of 1.0, which again is extremely strict about how you can control this model's output. The same rule applies to the sampling method as well, which is fixed as 0.95, which means while generating any response, the model will look at the 95% of the most probable tokens. And if you try to change these parameters to some other values, the model will instantly reject your request. But it also features some powerful capability to counter this strictness, where one major feature is this multimodal tool capability, which means you can actually give this model a video of your app crashing, and it will use the tools to do the visual understanding and figure out what actually went wrong in your application. And if you are passing a long video, you can also pass on a parameter to extract a particular clip from your video and find the exact timestamp of the bug and only pass on that clip to the AI model. And to send that extracted clip to the API model, you need to convert that video frames into base 64 encoded image content in your coding scripts only, so you cannot just pass on a raw link. And just keep in mind that passing massive files into this model won't just make it smarter. They strictly recommend keeping the image resolution at max 4K and the video resolution up to 2K, because passing higher resolutions will only increase your processing time and your token usage without improving the model's understanding. And if your video file is too large, you will hit a limit on the overall size of the request body, and when that happens, it is recommended that you use their file upload method directly to upload your images or videos. Under the hood, it processes all this large context of videos and images using the MLA attention mechanism, which is a very efficient way for AI to look back at its context and thousands of lines of code without breaking or slowing down. And it uses the open source community standard, which is a Swigglue activation function, without going too too deep into the maths, you can think of it just helping the neural network understand complex structures much better, faster, and efficient way compared to the older versions. And if you want to run this model locally, it supports this integer 4 quantization, just the same way as the Kimi K2 thinking model, which allows you to shrink down the model file download size and the overall memory that the model parameters will use in your system by up to 4 times compared to the base model version. To deploy it, you don't need a custom software. You can directly use popular inference engines like VLLM or SGLang, which makes serving the model incredibly fast and super easy. And if you don't want to build and serve this model from scratch, they also support a command line interface integration with this Kimi Code CLI, which is engineered to drop straight into your development environment or any coding IDE or notebooks that you are using without needing of any extra setup steps. And while the open source weights are directly available on the Hugging Face page, you can just go to the files menu and you can directly download all the open weights of this model. Just keep in mind that the overall size is 595 GB, so you need almost a supercomputer to run this model locally. But you can also use their direct hosting agent with this Moderato plan, which is $15 a month, which will give you a weekly usage quota, which you can use to get your project moving. And this plan also includes multi-device logins, so you can start an AI coding session on your desktop and pick it right back up on your laptop. And if we compare this model to the latest Claude Fable 5 model, it is actually serving as an affordable coding alternative to it. If you don't know what Fable 5 is, it is latest coding model which is released by Claude on June 9, which immediately became a gold standard for all the high-end AI coding models by breaking through the 90% threshold on the core analytics benchmark. But running this model is incredibly expensive, but Kimi 2.7 answers this by crashing the price floor to just 95 cents per million input and $4 per million output tokens. But the real secret weapon for the production is its cache hits limits, which is just 19 cents per million tokens, which means if you are reusing any code-based prompt, the API pricing of this model drops incredibly. And due to the mixture of experts architecture, it only activates the 32 billion parameters per query, which makes it economically viable compared to the Claude Fable 5 model with the pricing at sub-dollar input costs. And if you look at the estimate benchmark comparisons as well, this K2.7 model is expected to perform 71% in the terminal bench, which is just 2% less than the Fable 5 model. And in the other benchmarks like SWE bench and the multilingual one, it is also performing at par with the Fable 5 model, which means you do not have to pay a premium for a model that clears most of the major coding benchmarks. So that was it for this breakdown. We saw how Kimi K2.7 model completely rethinks the AI programming by forcing deep logic and cutting down the token waste. I'll be putting all the links to the blogs and the guides to how to use this model today in your own coding environments. Just check the link in the description and pinned comments below. Let me know in comments if you have some suggestions for me to cover more such AI models, and follow the channel for more AI updates, builds, and workflows.